You know, sometimes this fan base really riles me up, man. We can't just take a moment, enjoy a historic win against the Baltimore Ravens, something that we've never been able to do, something that we haven't done in 20 years, which is beat the Baltimore Ravens. We've never beaten Lamar Jackson. Now we can check that off the list. And not only did we sack him, but we sacked him 7 times, which was tied for a record of sacking Lamar Jackson. And yesterday was historic. It was great to see in every facet, a dominant performance by the Detroit Lions. And I'm going to keep it a buck, man. And I say this a lot because I think that there is a lot of fluffery in this space. I really do. This YouTube has changed from when I started 7-8 years ago. It's changed into like a machine where people just put content out. They don't really care on if it's authentic or not. They just put, and a lot of times they try to appease the fan base. Well, that is, you guys know me by now, and I wear this kind of with a badge of honor because to me, I started doing this because of the fan in me, and that will never change. I cannot be bought. I cannot be swayed. You know what I'm saying? I will admit when I'm wrong if that is the case. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about, are the Detroit Lions good after all when it comes to the pass rush? Now, I tried to go today, enjoying the win. We got 7 sacks. You can't really have much to complain about. But Twitter, from ridiculous takes that I've seen from pundits, people who have access to the field, to fans. And I'm really starting to believe that the majority of the fan base are casuals. They're casuals. A lot of you who watch every day during the offseason are not. And I hate that we have to do this, but we have to do this. And that is talk about the Detroit Lions and their pass rush. Trust me, I didn't want to do it. I was going to sit on this today, enjoy this win, give credit to where credit is due, which I'll still do. But here we go. We can't even enjoy something. We got to fight about it, right? So the question is, are we good after all when it comes to the pass rush? I'll give you my thoughts at the end of this video. But I want to show you a couple of things before I give you my take. We lost to the Green Bay Packers in just horrific fashion. The team, Dan Campbell said it was communication. Jared Goff said it was communication. Jahmyr Gibbs, communication. That the flow wasn't there. And since that point, we've put out 90 points. After scoring 13, we put off 90 points. One thing that I said after that loss was I'm going to give John Morton an opportunity to prove himself, that I believed in him. I really did, because the offense is there. I believed in this guy. And turns out that that was the right move. When it comes to the pass rush, do you think the Detroit Lions are good? After all, Dan Campbell said we were good before we went into the season. Zadarius Smith signs with the Philadelphia Eagles, and we have to rely on and then we lost Marcus Davenport after Game 2 for a minimum of 4 games. So do you think that the Detroit Lions are good? All right, before we do that, I want to go into the stats here. And I want to show you something that I was waiting to see this, and I'm giddy about it, but at the same time, I have some thoughts as well. And I think you guys know where I'm going to go with this. So here we go. The Detroit Lions currently are tied for 3rd in sacks after a 4-game performance in week 2 and a 7-sack performance, 7-sack performance, and 4-sack performance in week 2, 7-sack performance in week 3. They're tied for 2nd. I want you to pay attention to something. And this is kind of why it grinds my gears, because we can't just enjoy a win, but there's a difference to me. If you look at these teams, there's a difference in and I want you to put in the comment section, what is the difference between the top, let's stop at the Minnesota Vikings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do the top 10. The top 10 teams in sacks. There is a difference between those teams and the Detroit Lions. Put it in the comments below. But the Detroit Lions are ranked 3rd in sacks. And I cannot wait to do the defense ranking tomorrow night. Cannot wait. The leader of the Detroit Lions on sacks is a guy who goes by the name of Al-Quadin Muhammad with 3.5, collecting 2.5 yesterday to add from his 1.5 in Game 2. And I think that when Marcus Davenport does come back, if he does come back, that he is now the rotational piece, because Muhammad has earned that spot. point blank period. What do you notice from this list right here? Now, I will give Muhammad credit for being a linebacker. There are linebackers who get a bunch of sacks in the NFL. That's what they do. Brian Burns. Josh Hines Allen is actually listed as a linebacker. Kayvon Thibodeau, I believe he's a linebacker. TJ Watt is actually listed as a linebacker, and all he does is sack the quarterback. So I won't even make that about this. But what do you see? What do you see on this list? And it has a correlation to the teams that we showed you before on the previous screen. What do you see? I'm going to let you tell me what you see in the comments below. Because trust me, I did not want to do this today. I wanted to simply celebrate the win with my team and my fan base. That's what I wanted to do. But here we are on Twitter fighting. We're in YouTube in the comment section. A lot of comments. We're good. So again, I'll give you my thoughts at the end of this video. I don't think you're going to like them, but I'm not in the business of pleasing people. I'm not. I'm in the business of statistical data. And that's what I do. Okay. So I want to show you something else too. That same guy that we showed that leads the team in sacks. Okay. He is also 5th on the list in sacks. He's under Rashawn Gary, 4.5. Myles Garrett, 4. Brian Burns, the guy we mentioned earlier, 4. Brian Young, 4. Al-Qadim Muhammad, 3.5. All right. So he's up there. He is ranked top 5 in sacking the quarterback. But ladies and gentlemen, it is week 3. It is week 3. Now, you might be like, well, Derek, why did you freak out after game 1? I freaked out after game 1 because a couple reasons. This is not the team we're used to seeing. And 2, because you can afford to lose games in the National Football League. The Chicago Bears, if you're 0-3, your season is essentially done. We saw what happened with the Cincinnati Bengals last year. 0-3, they missed out on the playoffs by essentially half a game. Joe Burrow had to sit and rely on another team, very similar to what we had to go through in 2022 when we started 1-6. You cannot afford to lose games in the NFL. And starting 0-2, you have 17 or 15 games to go, and you still have, even with 15 games, if you lose 2, the first 2, your chances to make the playoffs is 12% because you lost the first, but you got 15 to go. That's how tight it is. Right now, the Detroit Lions are not in the playoffs at 2-1. At 2-1, they have a winning record, and they're not in the playoffs, okay? So football is tight. It's tight. There's no room for error. But the question is we good? Do you, the fan base, think we're good? Dan Campbell thinks we're good. He's going to say that. We know what Melvin Jerome thinks. We're good. He always thinks that. All right. Do you believe that the Lions are good? Again, I'll give you my opinion at the end of this video. Let's take a look at Dan Campbell, a question he was asked today. I want you to give me your thoughts on this. And what did you take from this? Again, I didn't want to do this. I've been talking about the pass rush. Some of y'all are sick of it. Believe me, I'm sick of it. I think it is the missing piece. But I wanted to take a day off of talking about it. But yet here I am because we just cannot enjoy a win. Now we're fighting over we're good. We are good, okay? Which is ridiculous to me. Here's what Dan Campbell had to say. Give me your thoughts.
Externally, at least, people are talking about this might have been a Super Bowl preview. Seem to kind of validate that you guys are Super Bowl contenders again, I guess, externally. A lot of pundits are saying, I guess. Can too much be made of this game? Or even maybe like the first game, too much made of the Packers game too?
Well, yeah, those happen all the time, right? I mean, it's so early, and I mean, you just worry about winning the one in front of you, and every game's different, every opponent's different, and you just find a way to win, and you do whatever it takes to win the game in front of you. But, yeah, I mean, I know for us, we can't go through the ebbs and flows, right? After the Packers, we were done for the year. I mean, we're over. And now all of a sudden we're going to be it doesn't matter. We have our own standards. We know what those are. We know how we prepare. We know how we practice, and we know how we need to play. And that's all that matters. So whatever else is out there, that's not for us. We just got to worry about our own business. And I know this, we got to be locked in and ready for freaking Cleveland coming into town. I do know that.
Speaking of ebbs and flows.
All right, so you heard what Dan Campbell had to say. Now, there's a lot that you can take out of that. A lot that you can take, and he said something later on in the press conference about the pass rush and things like that. But what did you hear him say? It's early. It's early. And again, I'm not trying to take away from these guys, man. I'm doing this because we have to talk about it. I'm not trying to take. It's early. It's early. The sample size is now 3 weeks. So yes, there was some merit to about week 1, but again, we discussed why losing two of the first 2 games, your season is almost over. It's literally an uphill battle from there out. You got tiebreakers. Right now, we have the same record as the Packers, but because of a tiebreaker, we are not in first place. When we had remember 2022, when the Seattle Seahawks, because they beat us in week 2, held the tiebreaker, even though we had the same record. And we were relying on the LA Rams, Matthew Stafford-less LA Rams to get us in the playoffs. That's why those first 2 games are so important. Lions had every right to freak out after that first game. It was not the team that we were used to, but it seems as though the defense, the offense, the team has course corrected. Now let's bring it back to the pass rush. All right. Yes, yesterday was great. Not taking anything away from that. Mohamed was great. He leads the team in sacks with 3.5. But what did you notice about the list? What did you notice about the list? The 2 lists that I showed you is that when you look at the Detroit Lions, and let's give Mohamed, let's give him the Brian Burns designation. What do you see? Outside of him, there's always Hutch. Well, no, I take that back. It's not always. I'm getting a little excited. Aleem McNeil usually is second on the team. And then there's a huge drop-off between Hutch, McNeil, and anybody else on the D-line. And even if we put Mohamed on the D-line, which we will, there's still going to be a huge drop. Look at this. Linebacker, like official linebacker. This guy is not a pass-rushing linebacker. Not a pass-rushing linebacker. Linebacker, not a pass-rushing linebacker. Safety, linebacker. What do you see? If your linebackers, non-pass rushing linebackers, are getting sacks, your safeties are getting sacks, that means that your front 4 are not. Okay? So you already know where I'm going with this. Fans need to pump the brakes. Yes, phenomenal day. I cannot take anything away from that. Mohamed is, and I want to bring this about and talk about him. But it's early. We need to pump the brakes. Will Brad Holmes make a move? I don't know. He's never really valued it. We're good. He might not see the value in making a move. You see what happens there. And after last night's performance, it's hard to disagree with that. But I'm going off the numbers. Numbers are not the whole story, but they don't lie. They don't lie, right? Sacks win games. I've been saying that forever. Can you duplicate? Is yesterday's type of pass rush sustainable long term? I don't know what you saw, but I saw the middle of the field open quite a bit because Alexander Zaloni had to spy Lamar. Lamar is an anomaly. He is the outlier, and they played extremely well against him. But we also have a lot of different players that we have to play as well. Jalen Hurts. Joe Burrow is out. We've got quite a bit of guys. Baker Mayfield, he's going to be something. He carved us up with his legs last year as well, right? So can we sustain this without the front 4 making that same impact? Now, Mohamed is part of that front 4. He has taken over for Davenport, and he's been putting some guys in the ground. And I'm going to circle back. I'm going to make the rest of this video about him, and I'm going to give you my take, if you haven't figured it out already. Mohamed has come in, and he seized every opportunity. His post-game speech, he got a ball, and he wanted to thank the Lions organization because his words, he said, last year I was on the couch. You've got a cross between a first-round pick like Davenport and a guy who was on practice squads, drafted in the 6th round in 2017 by New Orleans. That's how Dan Campbell knew about this guy. I made a video a couple days ago, the new number 2. I'll link that video here. This guy has an opportunity. He took advantage of it yesterday. He now leads the team in sacks. He's a 1.5 sacks over Hutch, which that's a big deal because Aiden Hutchinson has led the team in sacks his entire time with the Detroit Lions. 9.5, 11.5, 7.5 in year 3. He has led the team in sacks his first 3 years on the team. So, Muhammad. But let me say something. Some guys just need a chance. This might be that guy. Did not get his first sack into the third year of his career. 1, 2, had an outstanding year in 2021, 6. His career high is 6. He is on pace to, really, if you just go by trajectory, and he's on pace, he could literally have double-digit sacks for the first time in his career. Had 3 in 9 games last year. He averaged a sack every third game. And that was coming in late to the team after the attrition. And this year, he has basically averaged a sack a game. Now, if that's not number 2, I don't know what is. So I will say this, and this is where I think that the fan base is going to get riled up. Muhammad has an opportunity, like a dog with a bone, and he is carving that bone up right now. Is he capable of sustaining this? He has not had more than 6 sacks in his career. And in those 6 sacks, he played 17 games. I don't know if he was the starter like he's going to be now. He is going to be the starter. And like I said at the beginning of this video, Davenport needs to earn his role back. He will be coming off the bench. That's it. You cannot you're going to ride the hot hand and you're going to keep it moving. Everybody else is on the bench. So that's my take. We'll see what the Lions decide to do. So nothing away from this team. I'm not taking anything away from the team, from the scheme, from the coaching, anything like that. I am going to give Muhammad the opportunity, which he's earned. He's earned that opportunity. Am I ready to say that the pass rushing woes are fixed? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I have to see more of it. Because if you notice from the list, the defensive line, and if you look at these other teams like I showed you, what did you see? What did you see from the defensive line of the other teams? Like, they got guys on the D line right now. Micah Parsons, I think he's also a linebacker. So linebackers are playing a bigger role in sacking the quarterback. You got linebackers, and they just rush the passer. That's what they do. They don't drop back in coverage often, and you definitely don't have no DNs dropping in coverage. Like, what are we doing here, right? So, do I believe that the Lions' woes are fixed right now? I will say this. It's too early for me to say yes. Okay? Do I think Brad is going to make a move? I don't. Do I think Muhammad has the opportunity and has taken full advantage of it? Absolutely. And I'm rooting for this guy. And we will see. We will see. Again, I didn't want to take anything away from the win, but that's where we are. That's where we are. And I really don't know how many people are going to tell you this. Like, I really don't, because yesterday it's just like, oh my God. Like, yes, I was hype. We were sacking. I mean, we did our thing yesterday. Can that continue? And how long can we get away with bringing that second level? I'm talking about Barnes, Anzalone. We had everybody in the box. I understand why. We were up against it yesterday. We had a threat quarterback, a running threat quarterback, and Derrick Henry, who runs everybody over. I understand it. I'm going to pump the brakes. I'm going to wait and see. But beyond that, we've got Pascal. We've got Hassanin that needs to get back on the team. Makai Wingo. We got some guys who, in my opinion, statistically have done nothing. So past Muhammad, what do we have? Will Davenport return? So I'm not taking anything away from yesterday. I'm also not saying that the pass rush is fixed. I'm saying that the Lions had a great game, and similar to Dan Campbell, I agree with. It's too early. The sky was falling in week 1, as it should have been, because of how you start if you start 0-2. And now we good. Fan base is we good. You know what my response is? We'll see. That's my response. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This was a long video. Did not intend for it to be this long, but it had to be done. It had to be done. Can't just enjoy the win. You got to deal with nonsense. I also wanted to announce that the Cancer Care merchandise is officially available. All sales of the Cancer Care merchandise will go to cancercare.org, and that's the foundation that we're going to support this year. Here is a redesign of the website, Fan Driven Brand. We're doing a pink theme throughout the month of October. Just got an early start for it. And there it is. We've got the hoodies that are available. We also have the pink shirts, the pink hat, and the pink hoodie as well. And you can see that the hoodies are out. I was waiting until October or September, October to put them for sale. And 20% of all the proceeds of the pink merchandise will go toward Cancer Care .com. I also, or .org, I'm sorry. And I also wanted to let you know that the Marcus Davenport shirt will be discontinued after the end of this month. We've had a few sales so far, so if you want a Marcus Davenport shirt, then now is your opportunity. It is discounted. It's $2 off. So if you want to get one to show your support or however you want to do it, because on October 1st, I am going to discontinue that shirt. It's already been proven to me that you can't believe in Marcus Davenport, and nor should you. That's just the way it is. You know what? I will never apologize. I know I sound like real haughty and real brazen, but I think the internet kind of makes you that way in a little bit. You know, when you get so much slack and you get so much so much flack for your opinion, because they can't, nobody's allowed to have one anymore. And it's just like, all I do is go by stats, right? And like I said, I think it's my delivery and the fact that I care, but at the same time, I'm just a dude, man. I'm a fan just like you. So imagine if you had a podcast or if you were watching something on NFL on your couch, like screaming at the TV. All of that is the same. If you've gone to a game with me, you know how I am. Like, it's the same. I am the same person. So I gotta, and you know what? And I'll say this and then wrap the video up because we're going a little long. Is my authenticity, it makes me hate it, but it also put me where I am. Like, I can't, it's too much fluff to try to not be, and I don't know how any other way to be. Like, I don't know how else to be, right? I would not do this if I had to conform to a certain rule, right? Anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You can be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Let's enjoy this win, man. Let's enjoy. And tomorrow, we're on to the Cleveland Browns.